Welcome, everybody. We are here with Michael and Marietta. They're going to introduce themselves shortly, and they are the speakers of the week for the Healing Cooperative. And we're very excited to learn all about the technology of vibrational healing called HEALY. Michael.
Well, thank you very much, Susan, and welcome everyone. Marietta and I are just honored and privileged to share with this beautiful group that we were just introduced to just less than a week ago, which is amazing how fast things are moving. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my screen share. Hopefully this will work if we have any problems. And Marietta and I can share a little bit about our backgrounds, and then we'll get right into our little presentation. And glad that everyone could be a part of it today. Let's see if I could do this and see.
I also noticed that we just had someone else join our group. It's Marifer Mans. Marifer, welcome. We just had our opening introductions, and now we have a presentation beginning by Michael on the technology of vibrational healing called HEALY.
Thank you, Susan.
Welcome to tonight's call. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, hopefully, Marietta, I put the right presentation up.
I hope so too.
We've been working on presentations, and I forgot to close down one of the presentations. I think this is the right one. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll know pretty rapidly into this. Let me see if this is going to work or not. Okay. Oh. Okay, just go back here, okay. Yep, this is the right one. Well, let's give a little background with both of us, and I'll go first, Maria, if it's okay with you, and I'll just share a little bit about my background, and I'll pass the baton to you.
Fine.
I've been very blessed to be in the wellness industry for over about 30 years or so. I kind of fell into the industry really as an outcome of my mother having breast and brain cancer. Kind of opened my eyes up to a world where there are other modalities out there that can support our well-being and healing. And over the years, I've been working in the industry. My passion for empowering others is really something I feel very pulled to do. And, you know, I have a background a little bit in also one of my passions is working with crystals and actually photographing crystals. It's something I like to do more of. The whole idea behind frequencies is, you know, being involved in the industry, you go to the shows and you get to meet a lot of practitioners, and you get to see all these crazy devices over the years, some of which are extremely cost prohibitive. And for many, many years, you would see them in practitioners' offices. And I've always been wanting to have some of these devices. But it was when I was introduced to this product called HEALY, which made it more consumable, more user-friendly and affordable. And that really got me excited. And I'm just so excited to be able to be here to share this information with you today. Marietta, share a little bit about yourself, please.
Hi, I'm just so happy to be here and just share about HEALY and a little bit about myself. And I just hope that my brain stays in gear. It's just the end of the day here when it needs to be in gear. I'm a registered dietitian, and for 15 years, I was in your typical registered dietitian working in hospitals and nursing homes and things like that until I was diagnosed with leukemia and I was given 2 years to live. And it started a whole journey for me where my life started taking twists and turns I didn't expect, and just kind of had to keep allowing myself to go along the road wherever it was taking me. And when I got back into life again after many years of chemo, I found a doctor who mentored me in integrative and functional medicine. And ever since then, I've been working with that. And along the way became a Reiki master and teacher. And that's when intuition really started to open up for me. I've been in touch with that since I was young, and it came back and forth many times in my life where I'd go into it, become afraid, and go out and come back in again. And I guess it was that time when I said, I'm just going to allow and see where it took me. And right now I work as a certified health coach. I have a contract with a company in San Francisco. I have my own private practice where I do nutrition and coaching and Reiki sessions, and also do some channeling and make custom beaded bracelets for people based on energy needs at that point. And Michael introduced me to HEALY at the beginning of the year, and I was having some serious health issues not related to what happened to me 20 years ago. And as soon as I heard about the capability of HEALY, I just jumped right on it, even before it was available in the United States. So back to you, Michael.
And before we move to the next slide, I also want to give tremendous thanks to our very dear friend, Beverly Nickerson, who is a part of this call. If it wasn't for Beverly, this would never have taken place. And she is truly an empowering agent. And I just want to thank her very much for her opening up this door for us to share with you today, and hopefully in the future as well. So, before we get started, obviously it's really important to just reiterate the fact that, we're not trying to diagnose, treat, or prevent or cure any illness. We're all familiar with these disclaimers. The HEALY that we're going to be talking about this evening is an FDA cleared Class 2 medical device, and it's basically cleared for relief of acute chronic pain, muscle soreness, et cetera, et cetera. There are many applications for HEALY. Foundationally, this is what you're able to legally be able to state. And as you're working with the HEALY, it's going to be able to provide, I believe, tremendous support on many levels in your well-being journey. And so I just wanted to just share that as well. We've had some brilliant scientists and quantum physicists over the years. Albert Einstein, R.R. Reif, Nikola Tesla, and they've all had their philosophies about medicine. And Albert Einstein, said the future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So way back in those days, and this goes back, 50, 60, 70 years ago or more, these individuals really had a better understanding that we weren't, that we were all based out of frequency. Most of us, especially the younger generation, knows Tesla as being the car company, really in his honor. He has, there's no relationship with his family or anything like that with the company, but just the fact that he pioneered so much with frequencies, and it's, I think, a great homage to him that they named the car company after him. But he is really, truly one of the first scientists to use frequency healing. And it is based on quantum physics and, talking about frequency, which can be measured in hertz. And I'm not a scientist. I don't profess to be one. Marietta has a better grasp of the scientific component of this. I'm just passionate about this type of technology because I truly believe that it's going to play a very important role in our society today. So science has now proven that the universe, including us, is made up of energy. I would assume that everyone here on this call already knows that. And this is HEALY. And let me just share this. I mentioned this earlier, but for those that are new to this call, I have always been a fan of frequency technologies. In fact, I go to flea markets and antique shows, and some of these frequency devices that were made in the 1920s are still floating out there, and I have a device that is based on this kind of technology as well. So it's been around for a long time. But the biggest challenge that we've had is that for the most point, this technology has been primarily exclusive to a lot of practitioners and people of wealth. These devices can run anywhere from $5 to $10 to $15 to $25,000 and pretty much cost prohibitive. One of these companies called Time Waver, which we'll talk about shortly, wanted to expand the availability of this technology and came out with a wearable. And as we know today, wearables are very, very important. If you look at the Apple Fitbit and the different watches that can take different measurements, this is the world that we now live in, and truly are living in the Dick Tracy comic book world where, you know, you can make phone calls from your watch. So very, very fascinating time that we live in. And I think there's no accidents that Healy is here today. So I am going to hopefully play a little video, a short little video that kind of explains. In the invitation that was posted, there is a short 2-minute video that kind of introduces the concept of frequency and Healy. And this is a second video that hopefully will work for us. Hold on.
HEALY, the wearable for your well-being, health and fitness. Well-being, vitality, as well as physical and mental health, are among the most important things we possess. In order to support you in all these ways, we have developed HEALY. HEALY is a wearable device. HEALY applies a range of frequencies and subtle currents that stimulate cell function using electrodes. HEALY contains 144,000 different frequencies, which have specific effects on humans. These gold frequencies were developed in collaboration with Nuno Nino, a Portuguese therapist and researcher who has used them to treat thousands of patients in his international clinics for over 20 years. Based on these gold frequencies, HEALY contains more than 100 special sequence programs to support the treatment of various disorders and other areas of life. These programs are called systemic programs in the HEALY app and are labeled with the abbreviation SYST. The centerpiece of HEALY is the quantum sensor that individually selects the gold frequencies that are best suited for your needs. The systemic programs are always the first choice for almost any area of application, as they focus on balancing the cause of a condition. This is why these programs are not applied locally, but in most cases in a holistic way, using the bracelet electrodes. The frequencies are designed to energetically affect the entire system in an integrated way via the upper body and its organs, glands, and the nervous system. These programs can have a duration of 45 minutes. Their goal is to stimulate and balance you at deeper levels. So take enough time and rest when you use the HEALY. Your health should be worth it. If you need quick help, HEALY has a lot of programs for this too. In cases of acute pain, emotional distress, stress, or insomnia, use the acute programs, which are applied via your earlobes. To summarize, you should first apply the systemic programs. If necessary, you can complement these with the acute or local programs. The HEALY frequency programs should perceivably help you after 20 minutes, whether applied at home, at work, during leisure time, during sports, or on the go. Using HEALY regularly will let you experience its full potential. We hope that you are going to enjoy your healing and experience the increased well-being and vitality.
Okay. So what is HEALY? First of all, was everyone able, hopefully everyone was able to see that video. Marietta, hopefully your speaker is on and you can share that everyone did see that video.
Yes, it came through.
Excellent.
It was great.
We worked so hard to make this happen. So
Yeah.
thank goodness for that. So what is HEALY? Uh,
Can I make a comment first, Michael?
please do that. Yes.
Just quickly. I just want to let everybody know that that video was actually made for Healy distributors and users outside of the United States, because in that video, they showed someone using ear clips.
Right.
And in the United States, ear clips are available. However, you have to have a doctor's prescription for it. The other thing is that in other countries, it is legal to say that Healy is available for use for sleep, for fibromyalgia, migraine, and a few other conditions. And we are not permitted in the United States to say those things. That's why in the disclaimer for that video, you saw some other conditions that we were not talking about.
Correct.
Where was this product developed and where is it manufactured?
That's
Germany.
that's a great question, and excellent question. Yes, it is. As Maria said, it is in Germany, and so it was developed in Germany. And we're going to go into some of the background and the manufacturer and who this company and who the people are behind this. We saw a gentleman by the name of Nuno Nina. We're going to talk to him. We're going to talk about him shortly. And any of the other questions that we have, we'll save to the end of the presentation. So this way we can keep the flow going. And we're very, very happy to answer all these questions. So basically, HEALY is a revolutionary technology for vibrational healing. It's a bioresonance microcurrent device with the quantum sensor. And that quantum sensor is one of the things that separates it from other devices. One of the things that I share with people, because I've been in the wellness industry for so long, and years ago, they used to have what we call the juice wars. All these juices from that came out of the Amazon jungles, everyone was, if it was a noni juice or a mangosteen juice or an acai juice, and everyone was comparing, well, my juice is better than your juice because fill in the blank. And this is not a competition. All of these devices that exist in the marketplace, and some of you here might be working with a device or know people or know practitioners that work with devices. They're all good. They're all valuable. They all have a role to play in helping in your journey. What HEALY brings to the table is what HEALY brings to the table. It's a portable wearable. It's got years of technology behind it because the parent company's been around for quite some time. And, we're not trying to say, well, does yours do this? Does yours do that? And I would just encourage everyone, to explore this further, and we can provide additional information. And we're happy to continue our conversations after this. So we've already talked about it being cleared as an FDA Class 2 medical device. Now, the HEALY is basically you use your smartphone or your tablet or your iPhone via your Bluetooth, and that's like your dashboard. So basically, you have the programs that are, you download the app from the App Store onto one of those devices, and then you can, you pick which programs you want to use, and it gets basically downloaded into the HEALY. And at that point, you can shut off your Bluetooth if you so desire. Some people get concerned about Bluetooth and other things like that, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. But basically, it's very wearable, and I'm wearing one right now, and I'm actually running a program right now, even as we're speaking. So a little background about the people behind this company. You saw in the video Nuno Nina. One of the questions that gets asked to both Marietta and myself is that we have people say, well, how do you know this really works, and what's the science behind it? And as the video stated, Nuno has been working with this technology for many, 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 many years. He has treated thousands of people through I think he has 7 centers or something like that throughout Europe. And he's the one that created the gold cycle of frequencies. So, what I always share to people, if this wasn't legitimate, his practice wouldn't exist. And so he's very well respected in the quantum physics world. And he is one of the people behind it. The other person is Marcus Schmika. The thing that I find, to me, he's like a savant. And it's really interesting. when you hear him speak and he goes, you ask him the time and he tells you how a watch works. So yeah, it's like a Snickers moment. You're not going to go anywhere anytime soon when you're talking or listening to Marcus, but he's brilliant. And not only that, but he has a side of him that I really embrace, and that is his spiritual side. He went to India, went into the monasteries in India for over 70 years. He's a vegetarian. Whenever they have a corporate run seminar or presentations or workshops, there is a portion of those workshops that they talk about being a vegetarian. So his dream, which to me is, I get chills just talking about it, is he wants to get 100 million of these Healys out to the world to help awaken consciousness. I mean, could you imagine, 25 million, 100 million people working on running the chakra programs, working on the crown chakra, working on the heart chakra, and what that ripple effect would mean in the overall frequency of this planet. Nuno Nina, we've talked about briefly. He's 7 integrative clinics, over 144,000 of these frequencies. Time Waver is the parent company, and they've been around for 15 plus years or so. So this is something that behind the company there is some very strong scientists and people that are committed not just for the science sake, but also for spirit's sake. There again, we already talked about Nuno a little bit. That's a picture of Nuno in his practice. That device you see in front of his computer is probably a Time Waver device. So that gives you an idea of what that kind of device looks like. And these devices can be quite cost prohibitive for the majority of us. So Healy works on all dimensions of your health. And I say body, mind, and spirit. The best way I can describe it is when you buy a cell phone, the first thing that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to upload people's phone numbers, make phone calls, send texts, and take a look at your emails. But as you grow with your cell phone and all of its capabilities, it's going to grow with you. And that is really what the Healy is going to do, regardless of what model you get. I think Marietta can both agree, and she'll share this shortly. I probably used 1/50th of the programs in my Healy, and it is a very holographic type of device. And as you're working with it and working with different combinations of different programs, you're going to find what programs are best suited for your needs. So what is Healy? It analyzes individual frequencies. It analyzes the body's cell frequencies and sends targeted microcurrents into the body that can restore the normal frequency and function of those cells. As we mentioned, they offer solutions that can support overall body wellness in all different levels. And the thing that I feel is very important, there are some people out there, and if you do some research online, there are some people who are promoting Healy as an end all to everything. And I tell people to run away from those people as fast as you can, because there is no one product, one modality that is the answer for everyone. I take my nutritional supplements every day, as does Marietta, and the Healy for me, although there are programs that you could use that have amino acids, that have Bach flower remedies, that have the different kind of mineral salts and other nutrients. I feel that this product is going to help to complement and enhance what you're already doing, the foods you're eating, the juicing that you're doing, the nutritional supplements that you're taking. It's not an end-all product. What I'm going to do right now is I am going to hand this call over to Marietta, and she's going to start going more into some of the science behind it. And Marietta, can you hear me okay? And are you able to pick it up from here?
Yeah, I'm fine, Michael. I'm ready to go.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Michael already mentioned to you that there was a quantum sensor, and The thing that's really great about the quantum sensor is that it actually is able to determine what frequency you need in that moment, and also keeps tabs on what's happening with your frequency and shifts it when your body's had enough of that frequency and moves to another frequency. And as Michael said before, that's really what sets the Healy apart from other microcurrent and frequency devices. And there's a large database of clinical trials to support the work of Healy, and the clinical trials and also the frequencies that have been developed all come from the work of the time waver, which is the mother of this this device, the Healy device. Next slide, Michael. All right, so Dr. Paul Noger was one of the first scientists that really started working with the frequencies of cells, and he really discovered that when a cell's out of balance, that's when disease begins to happen. And we'll see a little bit more about that in the coming slides. Next slide, Michael. Before we went on, I wanted to put this slide in here because I wanted to give you just a little bit of an idea of what different parts of our bodies, what frequencies they have. And can you see this? Is it too small for you to see? Can you actually see these numbers?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, good. So if you just look at the numbers, you have for neck muscles and shoulders and tonsils, you have a frequency of 220.20, and the green is one set of frequencies and the red is another set of frequencies. And I actually don't know the difference between the two types, but you know, everyone here is in touch with the spirituality and vibrations of the universe. And when you think about frequencies, everything on the planet has a frequency, and everything that we look at looks stable. It looks like it's not moving. It looks stationary. But if you get down to the tiniest molecule of that piece of that table or window or rock or human being, there are electrons vibrating. And the space between those electrons is where that vibration is created, and that's what creates the frequency. And if we go on to the next slide, Michael. So these are some frequencies that different bacteria resonate at. And if you look at sarcoma and carcinoma at the bottom, you see that those resonate at a very high frequency. And it's different than this frequency. The numbers that pertain to these frequencies is different than when you think of the numbers that pertain to the Enlightenment frequencies. Like, for example, enlightenment is supposed to be 700, I think, and God is 1,000. This is different. This is not the same frequency graph. All right, next slide. This is, I thought this was really interesting because everybody talks about anger being at an extremely low level of frequency and love being at a high frequency. And so you see serenity at the top and then dying and body death down at the bottom at 0. Next slide. So we already talked about the body of research, and one of the things about frequency with the Healy is that it can actually increase ATP by 500% by the use of it. And it also can increase protein synthesis by 700%. Can you see me? Am I visible? Okay, because I just wanted to show you, I'm using the Healy right now. I'm using the resonance model, and this is the resonance model running. The waves are showing you that the frequencies are actually being delivered to my body. Okay, next slide, Michael. So the principle behind Healy is they're using the theory of Becker and Nordstrom. And what's happening here, I'm going to back up a bit, is when you talk about cell tension, this is getting a little technical, so I'm going to simplify it for myself, if no one else. The inside of the cell and the outside of the cell have a particular charge. The inside of the cell is negative, the outside of the cell is positive, and it's supposed to be that way, okay? And with the inside being negative and the outside being positive, that creates cell tension, okay? And the cell tension then goes into the voltage of the cell. Lower voltage means the cell functioning is disturbed. Next slide, Michael. So we want a healthy cell, and who doesn't? I say to myself every day, when I wake up and when I go to bed, all my cells are healthy and happy, over and over. And so why do we want them to be healthy? Well, we want a good amount of ATP being created. That's the energy that keeps us going during the day. We want proteins to be manufactured, but we want them to be manufactured correctly, not with mutations. And we also need to have the cells absorb nutrients as well as get rid of waste and detoxify. And you can see that a healthy cell vibrates at 70 millivolts. Next slide, Michael. All right. This is the theory of Becker and Nordstrom. And if you look towards the bottom, you see the big green cell, and that's the young, healthy cell. And as you move up where the frequency diminishes and goes down to 0, you have cell death or body death. Next slide, Michael. So unfortunately, in the times that we live in right now, stress is very high. And when you have stress of family, stress of COVID, lack of sleep, lack of good nutrition, dealing with pesticides, not getting the right vitamins and minerals, the stress then moves you up the scale and to the point of cell death over time. And cancer, it doesn't say where cancer is it?
Not
One
in
of the
this slide.
slides, what's that?
Not in this slide.
Okay. All right. One of the slides I have, or I thought I had anyway, shows cancer is kind of high up there. Well, there it is, tumor cell, which is the red one. And at 15 millivolts, that's when the cell can mutate into a tumor cell. And 40 millivolts is when pain and inflammation start to occur. And the beauty of this is using the HEALY, if you want to, next slide, Michael. The beauty of this is that the HEALY can actually return, by returning the millivolts, return the cell to healthy. And this doesn't happen overnight. It happens with continual use of the HEALY. And I can say that for myself, I've had my HEALY now since beginning of May. And every cycle that I run on my body, I can tell it affects everything in my body because it brings about balance. It brings about a feeling of calmness. And I've meditated with the HEALY, and I felt like my whole body was vibrating. I actually used the HEALY with the sixth chakra and meditated, and it was really a wow. I tell you that. All right, next slide. Is this you, Michael, the four HEALY models?
Yeah, I can go into this a little bit, and then
okay,
we can tag team here. So basically, there are 4 HEALY models that they offer, and each model already comes with its own set of programs. And one of the nice things about this is that, let's say you get the basic gold model, but you want to get one of the other applications that would be in the higher model. Well, a lot of those applications you're able to buy separately, so you can a la carte some of the programs. I don't think all of the programs are available, but I think some of the programs are that you can upgrade to if you so choose. So the first model is what they call the Healy Gold, and all the models contain the Nuno Nina Gold cycle, and so there are an umbrella of programs underneath of that, and we have a document that I love, and Marietta, in retrospect, we probably should have shown the screenshot of that document, but if you guys take our contact information, we are very, very happy after this event to send you some additional information. So it goes more into specifics, but basically it is going to promote, proper energy balance. It's going to help to promote the releasing of some of the stuff that's in your body on an energetic level. It's going to support emotional balance, well-being, relaxation. There again, you're elevating the frequency of the body. And so in today's, as Marietta was saying, all of these programs are going to be very supportive of keeping your body resonating at a higher frequency. So it's not going to, here we go, we're not treating anything or curing anything, but if your body is elevated at a higher frequency on a day in and day out basis. Now, if you're using singing bowls or crystals or incense or drumming or meditation, all of these things are raising your vibration. So this is just another tool that's going to help you keep that vibration resonating higher. So if you do come down with some health dynamic, your body is going to be able to respond to it in a better, more constructive way. The Healy Holistic Health is the next model up. And I'm just going to share with you, just for what it's worth, just some of the prices so you get an idea. The gold model is about $500 and contains, like I said, a whole plethora of programs. The Healy Holistic Health contains all the gold programs, and then other programs, the meridians, the energy balancing one, the mental balance, sleep, skin programs. The sleeping programs are phenomenal. Every person who I know who has used the sleeping programs, everyone has said that they've noticed it. And I can say this from my experience, and maybe Marietta, you can concur on this. Anyone who has purchased a Healy and they're using it on a daily basis, within the first week, they're noticing something different. They might not be able to pinpoint the specifics, but they're saying, I'm sensing something different with my body.
Right. Absolutely. With the clients that have been using it, yes.
Right. The Healy Holistic Health Plus contains all the programs in the gold, and the Healy Holistic Health Plus other programs, learning, being healthy, jobs, beauty, chakras, and protection programs. Now, there's a big concern today. Obviously, there are frequencies out there that are really good for us, like the frequencies that are in the Healy, but we know that there are frequencies like microwaves and EMFs and other types of frequencies that even the military is using frequencies in some of their battle equipment that can have a negative impact. And so there are programs, we call them the protection programs, that actually can help support you if you have sensitivity to some of these EMFs. And, one of the big concerns that we have is 5G right now. So there again, sometimes you have to fight frequencies with frequencies is a good way of looking at that. And then there's the Healy Resonance, which is what the device that both Marietta and myself have. Oh, by the way, the Healy Holistic Health is about $1,000 program. The Health Plus is about $1,400 model, and the Healy Resonance is about $2,400 model. And it contains all the Healy programs, plus it contains an analyzer where you could run an auric field analyzer and tells you what areas in your auric field are weaker and needs frequencies. And Marietta, why don't you talk a little bit about the resonance, because this is one of your favorite programs and devices.
Well, that's actually what I'm using right now. And actually it just finished up. This is what it looks like when it's finished. The resonance is really wonderful because what it does is it taps into your energy system and is able to read what programs you need at that particular time. And with all the different cycles, you can do a resonance where you ask for all Healy programs and it'll choose what program is best for you at that particular time. Or you can pick a program, like in this case, I picked the gold cycle. And out of all the frequency cycles in the gold program, what came up for me was, I'm going to read them to you here. Relax. I'm a little stressed with this. Balance, pure, care, and release. So you can see that I need to release the stress from being in this program, from being in this talk. I need my body to care for my body and relaxation. I ran that for 26 minutes while I was doing this, and it just finished, and I'm calmer than when I started. So, and you can actually pick any one of the other programs to analyze with the residents. You could pick the sleep program and have it analyze which cycles of the sleep program is best for you. You could pick out the Meridians program and ask, the residents to figure out what's the best cycles for you in the residence program, and you can run them. So simultaneously, it goes through each cycle, puts in a particular frequency for 10 seconds, reads your energy system, determines if it's enough, and then moves to the next frequency. And it does that the whole time the resonance is running. Michael, did I explain that good? Was that good?
My God. Thank God you're here.
Thank God you're here.
What I love about the resonance is a couple of things. First of all, as I shared, my father recently passed away, and during his journey, I was limited very much with not being able to see my father. And thank God I had the Healy, because I was able to run some programs from a distance for him. I have him programmed into my database, and I was able to do a reading, if you want to call it that, an analysis, and was able to send him frequencies. And I believe that they play their role, right? So every little thing that you can do, sometimes you feel a little helpless in these kind of situations, especially for those who are not able to see their loved ones because they're in facilities or retirement communities, and they've had those doors blocked, allowing anyone to come in for the protection of the residents. So I also do frequencies for our dog. You could put your animals in there. You could put your house in there. You could do plants. Mm-hmm. So everything has a frequency. So like I said, it's going to grow with you as you grow with it. And you can tell by the enthusiasm from Marietta and myself that we just love our program. And I'm just so excited to share with you all four of these models. And some people say, look, let me start off with this one and, share a conversation with us so that we can, see what your needs are. We're not trying to push anything. We want people to know, we want to be supportive of where you're at in your journey. So if you or someone we kind of do a little analysis in conversation about what's supportive for you and what things that you want to do. And then we can make the best recommendation for a model. So just a side note to that. So here again, this is like a quick overview of the four different models and what they can do. And here again, we're happy to send you a sheet that kind of breaks down these programs in a little bit more detail, a little like snippet, one sentence for each program. But this kind of gives you an idea of what you're getting. So we'll, feel free, please, to contact Marietta or myself, so that we can help support you with learning about these devices. And I think, how are we doing with time, Susan? I want to make sure, because we might just
We have a couple of more minutes left. Yep.
okay. Did we upload this one, Marietta? Do you know? I'm not sure if we did.
You click it on, that'll tell you if we did or not, because I can't remember.
The digital nutrition, I think we did.
Yeah, and I think that's a good one to show if we did.
So this is one of the applications that you can buy separate that's not in any of the Healys. And as this company evolves, they're going to have different applications that you could either on a monthly subscription or outright purchase and upload it into your Healy for usage, any time of the day and your week, etc. Let me see if it doesn't seem as it wants to. Let me see, Healy. I'm not sure if this is going to work, Marietta. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work, but that's okay if it doesn't, because we can always send it to you. Up here it is.
Healy Digital Nutrition App, or DNA. Our diet is often no longer complete, wholesome, and healthy. Many people lack essential minerals, vitamins, and other nutrients. You have to take them with expensive nutritional supplements. Well, not any longer. The Digital Nutrition app finds the nutrients that support your vitality and creates shopping lists from foods that naturally contain these necessary nutrients.
We're not going to use this video again.
These programs contain the resonance frequencies for the individual vitamins and minerals. They should support you bioenergetically to better absorb these nutrients from your meal.
Okay, so that at least gives you a picture, if you want to call it that, of where this company is going. Bioenergetic digital nutrition obviously is going to play a role in our health and well-being. And here again, I'm a firm believer that there is no one magic bullet. I still, would be taking my other nutritional supplements because I think they'll complement and enhance what it is that I'm taking. It's not meant to replace it. That's my own personal opinion. I think, Marietta, you concur with that as well.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So one of the other devices that they have that they're actually going to be, it's on the market right now, but they've been working on some additional supportive programs, is the Healy watch. And here again, we're familiar with the Apple Fitbit and some of these other watches. So this is going to take some of the basic things that you see in these other watches, but take it into a deeper direction and going into its own unique direction. And here again, I just want to let people get a bigger picture of where things are going with this. And that is the end of our presentation. Now we're going to open it up for questions. Hopefully between Marietta and myself that we can answer some of them. And I just want to encourage everyone to please make sure you get our information. And I'm going to stop my screen share, I think, if this works.
Wait, isn't the next slide the information, Michael? Our information?
No, I was the first slide. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so good, Marietta. You are so good. Impressive.
Can't miss that.
And so, yes, here again, we're here to be in service to help you in your journey. One of the things, I'm not a technical person, neither is Marietta. To be very transparent, okay? There's going to be a learning process with this. And as with any technology, just like when you started getting your cell phone and trying to figure out things, and sometimes you got to go back to the Verizon store or the AT&T store and you say, I don't know how to do this, and you have to go watch a video and it gives you some directions. This is going to be a process. It is a marathon and not a sprint. And Marietta and myself are fully committed to anyone that wants to work with the Healy, be it for their own well-being or for their practice, to walk with you throughout the whole process. Because there will be, as with any technology, there will be bumps in the road. And we request that everyone have some patience as they're learning the Healy and bend like the palm tree does in the storm. You got to kind of go with the flow and say, okay, well, this is not working for me right now. What do I need to do to correct it? Because sometimes, if you have an older cell phone or an older tablet, you might have a slower response to the program. And little idiosyncrasies. These things have personalities, just like your car, your cell phone, your DVD player. So I just wanted to kind of share that up front to be fully transparent. And that's why we want our information here. So that way, if you do decide that you want to purchase a Healy, that by working through us with your Healy, that we can walk side by side with you on your journey and help you accomplish the goals that you want to with this amazing device.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you so much, Michael and Marietta, for the presentation. I really was not familiar with this Healy device. I am familiar with the technology of vibrational healing. Heard a lot about it over the past several years from different practitioners who have spoken about their products and their different supplements. One particular supplement which comes to mind that also focuses on increasing the vibration in our bodies is the ASEA product. I don't know if you're familiar with ASEA, but
Yes.
I've been taking that now for 6 months, and I've noticed some miraculous changes, especially in my skin, believe it or not. I was actually, concerned about, my blood work. I was trying to reduce my cholesterol level, and everything has improved, but my skin has improved more than anything else. So I'm a big believer in different vibrational therapies. And it looks like we've had some other people join us for the presentation. Maya is here as well, and Marifer. So before we say hello to Maya and Marifer, I want to stop recording over here and end the presentation for Marifer, for Michael and Marietta. And I want to thank you very much for this brilliant presentation, for teaching us all about Healy, the technology for vibrational healing. Thank you very, very much.
Our
You're welcome.
pleasure.